Hi guys, welcome back to another one. So today I'm just going to be showing you the different trap strengths, going through my smallest to my biggest trap that I have, just so you kind of get an idea of how strong each trap is and kind of what each one can be used for. As I know a lot of people, they aren't always sure what trap size corresponds with what animal. So we'll go ahead and go through this here. So I go from basically my smallest coil spring. I usually try to use coil springs. I have some long springs too. Those are great as well if you have those. And then it goes all the way up to my biggest one, which is the TS-85 for beaver. So we'll start right here at the bottom. So this is just a regular number 1 Victor coil spring. So very normal trap, very small, very lightweight. A lot of people use them for muskrats. That's typically all they can be used for, just because they are so small. As you can tell, compared to my hand, that is a very small trap, so you have to use it for what you're actually able to catch and kill quickly. So for this, usually you'd put it on the side of a muskrat house, so then they would then dive into the water once they get the trap on their leg, and then they'll go ahead and dispatch in the water. So with that being said, it is quite a strong trap overall, so we'll go ahead and snap it here for you guys. So as you can see, very strong trap, be able to catch them very quickly. Even raccoons that are out there, as long as you have them where it's a drowning set, so they go into the water and they drown. Very easy to catch them and dispatch them quickly because they don't have time to be able to pull out of that trap. So the next one up that we have here is a 1.5 Duke. So a lot of my traps are Dukes just because they're fairly inexpensive and they're pretty good overall. Not the best, but pretty good. So for these, you can use them in place of the number 1s on muskrats, if you prefer. A lot of people like these for raccoon sets, mink, muskrat, kind of those, possum as well. Possums aren't really worth anything right now, so I don't see a point in trapping them. No point in killing something if you're not going to get anything out of it. Plus they eat ticks and stuff, so they're pretty good animals overall. People will enjoy, as long as they don't see them. So for this trap, pretty easy. Since it's just for raccoons, I didn't do any changes to them, as you don't really need anything too much for raccoons. With this being like this, it'd be great for dirt hole sets, pocket sets. For mink and raccoons is good. Even some muskrats will go in there too, just because they're cruising about. So we'll go ahead and snap this one here. As you can tell, that was a lot stronger than the 1, just by going up to 1.5. So we'll go ahead, and this is another 1.5, but this has actually had some modifications, so I figured I'd show you. So this is actually, I believe, a bridger, if I'm not wrong. As you can tell by the trap pan, that's usually how bridgers look. Dukes have a circle, Victors have a V cut. So 3 different brands right off the bat for you guys. So with this has a welded on piece right here. This is to help displace. So say you get trapped right here, you don't have much blood flow, which then raccoons will eat themselves out sometimes. So this helps increase that width so it doesn't completely cut off blood flow, so they can still feel it, so they don't end up gnawing it off. So same rules apply for this one as it does this one. This one can be used for a lot more dry land purposes, because with the raccoons not gnawing off as much in these. So we'll go ahead and snap this one off here for you. So as you can tell, pretty much the same as this one, not much difference. Good low trap with a couple simple modifications just tacked on there. very easily. Just boom, 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 boom. So we'll go ahead and get to another Duke trap right here. This is a 1.75. So this is where I start getting into the range of being able to see these being used for fox and coyotes. 1.5s are just not big enough. They can really tear up your trap if you do get one in there. They will destroy the pans. They'll pull these apart. Very aggressive on the pans. So the 1.75s are usually strong enough to endure that, and they're big enough to actually be a pretty good trap for it. Yes, you can still use these for raccoons. This is probably one of the highest, unless I would say a number 2 long spring, just because they're not quite as strong, so it won't be as hard on their leg, which then would increase knot-offs. So a lot of raccoons, the main thing you're worried about is knot-offs, just because that is such a prevalent thing in them. So with coyotes, this is just perfect. It's just big enough. Pretty cheap. The cheapest thing you can get basically is a Duke 1.75 for coyotes. Besides if you're able to find some long springs online used or something like that. So we'll go ahead and snap this off for you guys. Alright, so as you can tell, just by going up that little bit, that's a lot stronger of a trap. This is when it starts to actually hurt your hand if you actually get yourself caught in it. So now we'll go to what people normally like for coyote traps, which is up to a 2 to kind of a 2.5 to 3 range. People like these. They also like the MB550s and stuff like that. Sadly, I don't have any of those yet because they are quite expensive. So for this one, as you can tell, we'll put it nice and close here. The 1.75 is just a little bit smaller, just by 0.25. So nothing too crazy, but just enough where this one is a lot more of a trap. This will hold a coyote. It won't break apart. You don't have to worry about it. You set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about things like these. So we'll go ahead and snap this one off. Perfect. So people also will use this for actually beavers. It's kind of small for a beaver unless you're trying to get that front foot catch or you're trying to do a drowning rig. It all just very depends on how you're going to use them. I wouldn't suggest using this if you have other ones, but if you are having to trap something, I'll go ahead and use that if you're using it for beaver. So this is another 2, as you can tell, same size, just different design, as this was a Duke and this one is a Bridger. So Bridgers are nice. I kind of like the design just because of how they are. Look kind of cool. So this one, as you can tell, actually has rubber padding along the side to help displace on their legs. So very nice. I kind of like that just because any bit of reducing knobs or anything like that is always good, especially since it came like this, so it wasn't any trouble for me. So we'll go ahead and set this one off for you guys. Didn't have a good grip on that one. Flew over on me. So as you can tell, that one was pretty much the same as this one, as it should be. Again, very good for coyotes, foxes, up to probably smaller beavers for it. So this is where we come up to the big boy. So this is the TS-85. And this is where you start getting into a really good range for beavers. This is a good beaver trap overall. As you can tell, it is dogless, as it just goes right on the jaw. So you can set this thing up, and it's very nice for beavers. I've got quite a few on here. A couple unfortunate raccoons as well. You know, going down drowning rigs, it works just fine. That's kind of what you're having to use these for. As you can tell, it's a very big trap. If you put a number 2 next to it, just look at how small that looks compared to it. So I'll go ahead and set this one off here. Perfect. Alright, So as you can tell, that's a very strong trap. You do not want to get caught in that thing. It will probably hurt. Now, it won't break anything most likely unless you just like stick your finger right there. Might get your finger. Just be careful, guys, when you're trying to set things that big out there. Those, and especially 330s, you have to be very careful, because if you get that thing on your arm, it's very hard to get it off with just one hand. So other than that, I think we pretty much covered all the bases for footholds. If you guys want to look at dog proofs, I got those as well. I have conibears. I can roll through it as well for you guys, going from 110s all the way up to 330s for you guys. If you guys want to see some 220 bucket sets for raccoons, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching.